Hi, it's Adam. Welcome to cycling vlog number 8. As usual, the vlog will be divided into 6 parts that will help you be the best cyclist you can possibly be. In the first part, we will go in detail in my physical training. I will show you some tips that you can use to be able to develop as much power as possible during a sprint session. Then I will talk about mental training. This week we will talk about the importance of reducing judgment and increasing our presence. After that, we will go to the video of the week. We will talk about how to change our habit of thought with meditation. Then I'll share you the book of the week and the album that I listened to the most on the bike. And I will finish the vlog by answering your question. So let's go. We start right away. For physical training, I started the week with a 2-hour recovery ride on Zwift. The goal here in a ride like that is really to see the workout as a recovery session, where the goal is to make sure to only turn my legs and use the time on the bike to flush the lactate acid and relax my body. Wednesday, I did a session of maximum power, so 10 max sprints of 8 to 15 seconds with a complete rest in between each sprint. The goal here was to really work the explosion and put stress on my anaerobic system. In sprints workout like that, I make sure to have my core, my abs, my ass, and my back super engaged and squeeze the handlebar. I followed the workout with an explosive strength session to recruit the same muscle even more specifically. I followed this with a long endurance ride of 5 hours. The goal here was to use the course to challenge myself and to have an average heart rate of 145 BPM at the end of the ride. In the end, it gave me a pretty good training load, 205 TSS for the ride with an average of 237 watt average. Friday, I did a time trial workout, a very specific workout in the energy zone that are specific to time trial. So for me, it means between 380 watts and 470 watts. Here, because it was a TT workout, my goal was to complete the interval while making sure the optimal aerobic position was aerodynamic position was maintained. I finished the week with 2 volume sessions outside. Saturday, I had the opportunity to do a little less than 4 hours of cross-country skiing in Mornite. Honestly, it was great to work some muscle that I use very, very rarely. And Sunday, I did the 4-hour 40 on the fat bike at Chanteclair. Honestly, I love fat biking. Lucky for me, it was starting to get dark. Otherwise, I would have honestly continued riding indefinitely. For me, it's just the perfect balance between having a good training and a lot of fun. So overall, it gives me a week of 24 hours of training and a training load of 835 TSS. So now for the mental training of this week, we will talk about decreasing our judgment and increasing our presence. So I will read the text for you, and I encourage you to follow with me and take notes. So let's go. There is no judgment, only presence. Quote, we live in a flash of light. Evening come and it's night forever. It's only a flash and we waste it. We waste it with our anxiety, our worries, our concern, our burden. So that's Anthony de Mello that tells us that. Be one with the present to freely and comfortably express your true feeling, value, and potential in the moment. Never underestimate the power of engagement in everything you do, and realize how important attention it really is to your moment-to-moment experience. Bringing your entire being to the experience is the only real way to appreciate and live the moment fully. Awareness and thankfulness for the instant are continuous practice and extremely crucial discipline to well-being. Consciously realize that you are wasting every moment that you approach without total consciousness. Constantly release thoughts that stop you from experiencing the present completely. Don't let them depreciate the true essence of your experience. Therefore, you must separate yourself from the constant repetition, analysis, and criticism of the past, and abandon the expectation that directly result in an endless anguish towards the future. Decrease the judgment you have towards your life. You are the one who gives color to everything you experience. So don't be quick to judge if something is good or bad for your existence. Welcome everything that enters your consciousness and choose the most excellent response. Nurture and practice the discipline to find peace and freedom no matter the gift that life offers you in the present. So now let's switch to the video of the week. This week, Gurusin explained us how to cultivate the ability to change our habit through meditation. So I play you the video.
Once again, as you do it more consistently, you form a new habit. The brain introducing thought is a habit, and it hasn't been managed for however many years you have been living. And when you start a practice of meditation, you're starting literally a practice of changing a habit. And the more aggressively you try to change a habit, the more aggressively the habit will resist your change. And that's why the way you described it was very beautiful, and that you gently coax your focus back to the breath or whatever it is that you're focusing on. So, a lot.
So wow, let me just repeat you what Gurusin just said. The more aggressively you try to change a habit, the more aggressively the habit will resist your change. Well, so in meditation and life, every time we notice thought patterns that aren't serving us, we need to gently bring back our focus and our anchor to regain present in the moment. Again, like Guru said, the anchor can be the breath, it can be the sensation in your body, it can be sounds, it can be taste. It doesn't really matter. We really need to remember that unhelpful thoughts will always arrive. Our goal is to notice them and diffuse from them so we don't let them occupy valuable mental space. We must be selective on what occupy our mind. Our objective is to be like the observer of our thoughts, seeing them as fleeting mental events rather than as authenticity that define us, understanding that we are not our thoughts, that it is possible for us to step back and observe them rather than always letting them dictate our lives. A metaphor that I really love to illustrate this concept is that our objective is really to be the observer of the wave of the ocean and go for a swim only when the water is clear, rather than being constantly in the water and be left and right, be hit left and right by the endless waves of the ocean. So now let's switch to the book of the week. The book of the week is on Tyranny, 20 lessons from the 20th century by Timothy Snyder. So I have it here. Timothy Snyder is an historian who teaches at Yale University. The purpose of this book is to learn from the political mistakes of the past to make sure we not repeat them in the present. The book is divided in 21 chapters, so 21 lessons, and by analyzing the mistake of the past, aim to warn us about the current political time in order to keep our democratic freedom and avoid tyranny. Honestly, I strongly encourage you to read it. It's a super short read. It's approximately 2 hours to read it completely. But for me, I really think it's an important read. And I'd strongly suggest it. So 21 lessons from the 21st century by Timothy Snyder. So now the album that I listened to most during the week is the latest album by Kamasi, Washington, Heaven on Earth. Kamasi Washington is a saxophonist, he's a composer, and he's also a leader of his jazz group. Honestly, the album is a mix of several styles of jazz that are arranged in an extraordinary way, like jazz funk, spiritual jazz, Latin jazz, and all this is arranged in a unique way by Kamasi Washington with his incredible saxophone skills. So honestly, like I said, the album is just amazing from beginning to end. So I strongly suggest it. Finally, let's go to the question of the week. So first question. Lohan asked me how to have a good cardio. That's for sure a question that could be answered, in more than 1 week, and the answer will not even be complete. But I really just think it's important to make sure to have in our training a method that allow us to reach all the cardiovascular zone that will be solicited in competition. Second question, Mover M12 asked me, how do you manage and decrease in motivation during a year of training? I think it's a very good and important question because yes, for sure, our level of motivation will fluctuate during the year. I really invite you to read the text I wrote on motivation just here on my Facebook page in the notes section. GSK789 asked me favorite pre-workout meal. I will tell you it varies a lot depending on the training of the day. If the training is really intense, I will eat carbohydrate in the morning, so like oatmeal, for example. If the training is more relaxed, I will eat a breakfast that is rich in protein and fiber, so it can be like omelette with vegetable. Before a big volume ride, I really like to combine the two. Chris Book asked me if I am on a special diet. No, I only make sure I eat as healthy as I can and learn as more as I can about nutrition so I can improve. Sebastian asked me, how do you play with carbohydrate quantity? How and in what phase? For me, it's quite simple, I would say. A lot of intensity on the bike equals a lot of carbohydrate, and less intensity on the bike equals less carbohydrate. So yeah, that's about it for this week. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something that will be useful in your development. I'm hoping to see you in the next vlog for vlog number 9. And in the meantime, I wish you have a good week of training. So bye bye. See you.